like you're fine. You don't need to shove a cucumber in your face. Like, so I think
Not unless
that's
it's for fun.
definitely,
How are
it's
you
just so,
enjoying the South so far in terms of the Carolina?
I love it, but this rain is atrocious.
I was about to ask, like, are you having this right now? Like, it is like it just went ba-boom and
Dude, like, I was just talking to Will about this. He's like, you just assume it's always going to be this bad, yada, yada. I'm like,
yeah.
no. Like the weather in Florida, sure. Like when it rains and then it stops. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do this whole rain all day bullshit unless it's a hurricane. So I
Yeah.
hate this. I really do. I don't
Yeah.
like it. Um, but at the flip side, it's not humid as fuck out, like where
Yeah.
I am at least.
Yet.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
coming.
it will get.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as Florida because if Florida, it rains whenever it
Oh,
rains, it's
100%.
humid.
100%.
Here, it's like, okay, you have those little months, which I can deal with.
Yep.
But yeah, like, shit, it rained all throughout the night. I woke up, it's raining, I can't walk the dogs. And I'm
Yep.
like, okay. So I'm on my little walking pad. And I'm like, I can't stand this shit. And it's gloomy out, but I like it. The weather, I don't really like the weather, but it's okay.
You get
I
used
will,
to it, I promise.
yeah.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Where are you, Laura? Oh, there you are, Laura. I don't know why. I was just on the one where I just saw Ash's face. Hi.
Hi, I'm
You're
home.
you're
I'm
here.
here.
You're
I'm like
here.
legit dying, actually.
Why? Why are you always dying?
Legit. Either
Because
Meg is
I
like injured or you're like pissing out your ass. So like what the fuck's wrong with you two?
it's because I see so many people in person all day that like anytime people come in sick, I'm in such close contact that like it's impossible to not. And I don't know if it's like this near you guys right now, but all of a sudden the whole fucking world has the flu or COVID. I don't know which one I
Mhm.
got, but I got one or the other in like the worst period of my life. So I just want to like,
Damn.
when you won't feel like if you're gonna have one, you shouldn't be able to have the other. Like there should be some type
Yeah.
of law against it. Yeah. So
Nah.
we're here.
I'm
It's
sorry,
okay.
dude. That's
I'm
rough.
It's
sorry.
okay. On the bright side, the positive silver lining is I have no appetite and can't taste anything, so it really doesn't matter. So,
Perfect.
Dude, that's real talk. Like I'm making an Instagram post. I think it's gonna release on Sunday about like if you like here's my number one tip for hacking hunger and prep. Don't enter into a prep because like
Mhm.
you're gonna be hungry, right? Like that is like inevitable. It is nothing to fear. It is something to embrace. And like truth be told, like I would take hunger all day anyway because I almost treat hunger like an old friend. It's like, oh hey, hello, how are you? I haven't seen you in 6 years. But then like it's for me the drop in energy and then the leg fatigue is something that like I have a hard time handling because it's like I love by expressing myself. And I feel like if I can't bring a certain energy to conversations, talking with my favorite friends, then like it kind of fucking sucks. And it's like I like being like bubbly and me, but dog, that costs so much goddamn energy that I don't got. Like I don't got the energy.
I've always had that like mindset to myself, and I guess it's a little bit of like a sick twist to look at it, but I'm like, if I'm hungry, I'm like, fuck yeah, like I'm changing. This
Yeah,
is good.
exactly.
And like lean
Exactly.
into it. But it's been really weird. Honestly, I was really nervous about dieting this time around because my food has never been as high as it was off season. And I know that, just because it's high on off season doesn't mean it won't be low when
Right.
you come to dieting. So I was like, kind of like, wow, this is gonna suck. But like honestly, I think I'm about like 1,450, 1,500 calories, somewhere around there. And like I'm not hungry at all. But just like you're saying, it's just like it's the energy dips, especially like it was the last time around, I was less in person, so it was a little easier.
Yeah.
It's a little harder this time around, especially like double days in person, but
Mm.
Yeah. What about you, Megs? Would you take hunger or like apathy?
I take hunger all day.
Yeah,
I don't really feel either right now. We did
that's
just
good.
make I would say my first like actual push. Um, because I'm under 3,000 calories now, and that's pretty fucking low for me. Um, like this is my third day on that though, so I don't really feel much of a difference like appetite or energy wise. I actually feel more energy. Sometimes because like just higher carbs, like you can feel a little bit more
Yep.
lethargic.
Or
So
clubby, yeah.
yeah, like the first day that he changed it, like my pumps were better, my energy was better. I was like, fuck yeah. But I mean like catch me in a couple weeks, I probably won't feel the same. But like right now I'm riding that high. But
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I really do like in prep is waking up hungry. Oh,
Mhm.
it's so
Mhm.
And
nice.
then you lay in bed and you're like, look at that six pack. And then it's gone later.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But then you get into cardio and your stomach's literally like eating itself and you're like, all right, I'm fucking pissed now. But I kind of like it. I don't know if that's like a sick like
No, I do too.
thing.
No,
I like
it's easier for me to, no pun intended, digest being hungry because, like, again, that's expected. And I know, like, feeling tired and legs being heavy is also expected, but, like, it's just like I think my attitude and mindset around it, it's like hunger for me is ain't no thing. But, like, it's just, again, not being able to be myself, especially because I suppressed who I was for so long to make others happy that like now that I am confident and I like who I am, to not be able to express that to the best of my ability versus like in like the off season where I'm just like a fucking nutso. I'm like, damn, I miss me.
yeah.
I would say if I
Ass.
had to pick even more so than the like well, I guess it's sort of the same thing, but more so than like feeling tired is I hate fucking training and feel like not being able to do like obviously you're still trying as hard as you can, but there's a point where
Yeah.
you start dropping off a little bit and
Yeah.
it is what it is, and I fucking hate that. I get so angry.
Dude, that's like me right now. Like you can feel it's coming where it's like you're still strong-ish relatively, but like it's just not the same. You know what I'm
I
saying?
had to order new knee sleeves. That's where I'm at.
Mm.
Because mine
That's
aren't
rough.
doing dick anymore.
Yeah. I I feel like, there's like a little wake up call though when that happens in prep because sure your strength is going down, but so is your body fat. So are you really losing strength? Probably not. You're probably
Yeah,
maintaining it. And if you're training hard as fuck still, which you are, you're you're retaining that muscle that you built.
sure.
As long as you're not being a little bitch and like switching to like, jump squats and like plyometrics
Imagine
and
Oh
I
my
push weights.
God,
get
dude.
too
I
That's
was
still
hard
a
to
thinking
thing.
about
go.
that. Hey, titties.
Like
Woo!
what?
Dude, no, I was literally thinking about that. I was like, thank Christ for the next 2 minutes. I get to like walk around and just rest in between sets versus like doing bullshit like squats or
Dude.
super duper bullshit stuff. Like, I mean, like legit. I was like, I'm just thankful for rest. I'm thankful for the 2 minutes that I get for
Hmm.
before I hit my next set.
Like,
You know what's crazy? I still see people doing shit like that. I'm just
I do
like,
too.
I mean, if that's their training, that's fine. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are some hybrid training where it's like cardiovascular strength conditioning, whatever the fuck. But I would argue bodybuilding training should look a little different, right? Because our goal, especially in prep, is to preserve what you built in your off season.
Yeah.
Therefore, intensity, effort, engagement, like needs to be locked in, right? So something that I tell my athletes a lot is like staying locked in, and that doesn't just mean intensity. Like it, yes, includes intensity, but staying locked in with the muscle that we are trying to preserve and target, right? So it's like not making sure that if we're doing some type of like triple extension movement where we're starting to get nasty hip dip because the glutes are really fatigued, the hamstrings are fatigued, and now it's just like that low back kicking in, and just like you end up looking like a seesaw. It's like, okay, let's do a timeout here, like kind of reevaluate. But like the idea of staying locked in and prep is going to be harder because like your body is just running so low on your neurotransmitters. People don't think about that, but it's like your apathy, your mood, your energy is so low that sometimes it can be really hard to focus during your training,
Hmm.
and you kind of feel like squirrel where it's like you just kind of can't fucking like hone in. So it's like if you can turn out the chatter, the background noise, like really put your phone on do not disturb, fucking delete apps if you need to, so that way you're not scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or checking messages in between your rest periods. It's like stay focused on yourself, stay efficient, because
Hmm.
you don't need to be in the gym for 6 hours, right? Like train, Simulate the muscle, do what you need to do. If you have cardio, do cardio. If you pose, do pose. But like, you don't need to be in the gym 6 hours. Like, that's probably hell on your body.
Dude. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to like the double days of cardio eventually, whenever I get there, if I get there. But I hate being in the gym. And I know, sorry, Laura, you're like in the gym all the time. But like that's what really messed me up mentally is like double cardio, going back for training, going back for that. And it's like, damn, you're just living at the gym at that moment. Which
Right.
like
So
that's
I'm gonna
hmm,
be honest. I'm always an advocate for like you have to do what's right for you. And I used to feel
yeah.
exactly like you're saying. And truthfully, I'm that person that like I get up, I train, and then right after I do my cardio, I don't split them up. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck how
Hmm.
long my cardio is. I do not want to do that twice in one day.
Right.
Hmm.
I just it's more effective for me to do them both. Eat
Yeah.
if I have to, I bring food and like have something to eat in between or whatever, but I'm not going twice.
Oh yeah. And I mean, if it's, I mean, there's a lot of caveats, if it's impairing your sleep, if you're waking up, if you're only getting 5 hours of sleep because you have to do your fasted cardio, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Do it later in the day, do it midday, do it whenever you can, kind of thing, get it in.
Mhm.
But, there are points where most people probably couldn't do like a full hour or even an hour and a half nonstop of cardio without that intensity
Mhm.
dropping off like halfway through the cardio session. So that's when I'm like, okay, well, if you can't keep that heart rate up, if you can't keep the intensity going, then we have to kind of split it up. Like we have to take emotions out of it kind of thing. But I see what you're saying for
Yeah,
sure.
it just everybody's a little different. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I guess I'm a little bit of a exception to the norm because I haven't touched my cardio. I've been at 30 minutes this whole time, but because my steps are so fucking high from being
Yeah.
at the gym, and it's 2 floors and I'm running all over the place all day.
Yeah.
And see,
Yeah.
that's where it's like some strategies that would make sense. It's like one, like being honest with your schedule, because again, all three of us are in a contest prep. We have chosen to do this. And so it's like you have to be at a certain point where you can be flexible and not view as a problem as like a hard no, but be like problem solving focused. It's like, okay, what did Meg and I do? That's my treadmill right there, dog. Like Austin's like, okay, we'll do treadmill cardio. Meg, you got an elliptical, didn't you?
Hmm.
Yeah, you got an elliptical for your cardio. So that makes sense for someone. If I didn't have a treadmill, right? Rather than driving to my gym twice in one day, because that to me is a fucking waste of time, even though it's
Hmm.
15 minutes away, that's still, 50,
30.
it,
Dude,
it's
it
probably
adds up.
more. Yeah, it's probably more because like I'm usually hitting traffic opposite of where the traffic is. But like obviously if I
Hmm.
did the reverse, it's probably going to be an hour and a half. Okay, well that pisses me off and wastes time. So then it's like, well, I have a Planet Fitness that's literally right by my house off the bike path. So it's like, okay, well, if that was an option, then I would get another gym membership, right? Yes, I understand that's more expensive, but at the same time, again, I chose to do a prep and I need to do what makes sense. So it's like you see the problem of accessibility. And yes, your coach should be trying to problem solve with you and not just be like, oh, well, you have to spend $3,000 on a stair mill in your house. Cause like that's
Hmm.
not fucking reasonable. But at the same time, it's like when you identify a problem, then it's like, okay, well, how can I solve it? Don't just be like, oh, no problem. Can't do it.
Yeah, we
Figure
can't
it
do
out.
it.
Figure it out. It's like,
I
okay.
would say too that like so what I'm running into, I have a couple clients that are in prep that have kids. And that's when
Hmm.
you kind of have to say, like, I understand this is an expense, but you have to fucking buy something for your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, okay, I'm all about like I get it, finances 100%. Like we're in tough times, everybody is. But y'all get on Facebook Marketplace,
Exactly. Even
fucking
Amazon. Amazon is
Amazon
200 bucks for a
short.
bike
Mine was
Yeah,
400
but yeah,
for your
mine
treadmill.
was I think like 250 or 300,
Yep.
but they asked for 450 and I was like, nah, this is a 3-year-old thing.
Yeah.
You've been sweating on
I
this
got
bitch.
I got
Like,
a
no.
brand new spin bike on Amazon that's great, and I spent 200 bucks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not in the grand scheme of it, how often you're going to use that in prep and how valuable it is for your time saving and all of that, especially if you have kids. Or if like Ash, like saying like my gym's 15 minutes away too. Like fuck that. Like that's 30 minutes I could be working, because
Uh,
I'm like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
if I didn't have to be there anyways, there's no chance I would be doing my cardio at the gym, but I'm
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like real talk, if like people are giving up on their fitness goals, which is why they have Facebook Marketplace like accessible. So people are giving up. You capitalize, you take that. You'd be like, yo, I'll take that spin bike off your hands.
Yeah.
Deborah, I know that's a clothes rack. I'll take it. Like I'll take it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Dude, I bought a spray tan gun off of Facebook Marketplace yesterday. I'm pretty excited about it.
Really?
Oh shit.
Is Josh gonna do it for you?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Oh God. I would not
Listen,
trust Will to do that at all.
it's so
Oh
easy, it just
God.
missed out.
It's so
But
easy, and then you give it to a guy.
well, listen, I've already had friggin' skin cancer 3 times, and it's a little disappointing that I need to stay Casper. So I'm just gonna problem solve and stop putting myself out to bake.
There you
And
go. That's the theme of the podcast. Problem solution.
yeah, that's
Facebook
it.
Marketplace. It's the way to go.
Now I'm like, I want to see like what, dude. Let me speak of the Facebook Marketplace. Let me show you one of the most unhinged things that Eric like. He wasn't going to buy, but he was like, he sent it to me, and I was like, no. But it was on.
I see some crazy stuff on there. Some
Dude,
crazy stuff.
I low key kind of want it though, because like it's just so unhinged, and like that's my sense of humor. Like real talk is unhinged. So I will put this in the Charlie and his Angels. So like,
Okay.
look at that. Like, could you imagine like Meg coming into my house and that's just like in my front living room? Cement lizard man. Like,
Why
look.
is that a thing?
Wait a second. Who in their
650.
right freaking mind would spend $650 for
They
that?
probably
Oh,
spent
look at
more.
look at that glute though. You see, look at the swipe. He's got hamstring drop and everything. Bro's got calves.
Ash is considering it. She's like,
Bro's got calves. Yo, talk about
He's-
impulse buys and prep. Cement lizard man might be making his appearance in my home.
I'm nearing that. You know, when you like can't sleep in the middle of the night, you're just like scrolling on your phone. That's what I do. I probably shouldn't.
Dude.
But that's when I buy shit, and then in the morning, wake up and I'm like, did I? Oh, I did do that.
What's your go-to for impulse buys? Because mine is supplements. Like I just love like experimenting on myself when it comes to
Candles.
like okay, grandma. He's like, I'm on
I've got
Bath and
that,
Body Works and Yankee Candle at the same time.
like chocolate chip cookie, blueberry muffin, all the like desserty scents.
Damn.
Laura's like, smells are free, guys.
I haven't really impulse bought anything yet on prep. Been pretty good.
Shoes.
But I think that's mainly because we've been spending so much money with this move that I'm just like disgusted with touching my money right now. I hate it.
See that? I see that.
But it will get there. It will get there. And typically I'll just get on Amazon and get pointless shit that I don't need.
Same.
What about in the past? Was it like, did you do clothes or did you do
I did clothes a lot
clothes?
and
Yeah.
prep for sure. I didn't buy anything like crazy though. Like I've heard of like some crazy buys during prep. Like
Oh yeah.
people will buy like saunas for their house. They'll like buy all this like biohacking shit and spend thousands of dollars in a prep. And I'm just like, nah.
Dude.
But oh, actually, I guess not really impulse buy, but I'm like big into spending money on like body work and new
yeah.
ways of recovery. Like I just found a membership place here where they have like cold plunge sauna, steam room therapy, red light therapy, and I'm like, yo, I might do that. Like
Yeah.
it's probably like I think it's like $75 for the all-inclusive membership with monthly. I'm like,
That's nothing.
that's worth it.
Really good.
So I might do
Yeah.
that.
Especially that
But
sauna.
speaking of that, I got dry needling done for the first time
I
on Tuesday.
saw. And you even got that stem too.
That shit hurt.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, dry needling is not fun.
Yeah.
That hurt. Like
It's-
she was
needling is similar to
acupuncture.
right?
I wouldn't even say similar. No.
It's
I mean, it's similar, but dry needling is going right towards the like trigger point.
yeah.
And this bitch, I say bitch lightly because she's a nice lady, but she is in there and I don't know what she's doing, but she's putting the needle
Trigger
in
point.
and then she's literally moving it, trying
Yeah.
to find this trigger point. And I'm like, bitch, like this hurts.
Yeah.
But once it's in and once the E-stem's in, that like takes the pain away and you're like, okay, this is good. This is fine. And then I thought we were finished. And she was like, I'd like to try the hamstring again in a different position. And I was like, okay. And she did like my calf too, all the way down my leg. And
Yeah.
she was like, I won't do the soleus of the calf though, because then you would probably have to call an Uber. And I'm like, you're kidding, right? And she's like, no, I don't think you could drive. And I'm like, okay. And it was right. Like I got off that table, and I was like a baby, like deer. I was like, I can't walk.
Does your calf
So,
hurt from your yeah, mine does
oh
too.
my God, it's like a constant Charlie horse, dude. It's terrible. And it really, she 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 knew I was sensitive that day, and she was like palpating my glutes and like going over like, oh, symmetry, like have you lost symmetry? Have you lost size? And I'm like, do not tell me that I have atrophied and that I look imbalanced. And she's like, yeah, your right calf is smaller. Your hamstring is less defined on your right. I'm like, lady, you don't tell a bodybuilder this. Like, I'm
Dude.
like wanting to cry. I'm like, oh, but I think with this, and she actually gave me some cues for like my squats to work on, which apparently I've been squatting wrong my entire existence. Working through that is going to rewire like the brain muscle kind of pathway there. So I'm really excited to actually work on that. It's going to suck, but
It's so crazy how much your body adapts around injuries. Because like I was saying the same
compensate.
thing, frustrated with like my physique progress because I'm like, what the fuck? Like my hamstrings have come up, my glutes have come up, like my quads have come up a little bit, but not nearly like they should.
Yeah.
And I said to Josh the other day, I was like, it's just weird. I feel everything in my hips. And he's like, why haven't you told me this? I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't think of it. And he's like,
Yeah.
it's because your hips are engaging and not your fucking quads. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, a big thing for me when she just told me to do a body weight squat, and I was like in the mirror doing it, and I was like, "I look like a pretty damn good squat." And she's like, "You shift all the way to the right when you squat," and I'm like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, slow down, and then all I have to do is focus on my big toe pressure and pushing into that big toe and rotating at the hip while I squat down." But it sounds so simple, and when I did it, it was so simple. But I'm like, okay, when I put 3 plates on the pendulum and I do that, I have to slow it down in my head and actually think about this now. Because during the injury, I was really moving away from the pain, compensating, and that can definitely impair your connection and just how you grow for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's like been my like progress the entire time I've been like in and out in PTs because it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's as you like address maybe one issue, then the body compensates in a new way, which is why it's so important to view physical therapy as like an ongoing evolution, much like, your training and
Yeah.
your whole bodybuilding experience, because it's just another piece of the puzzle is kind of like the mantra that I took because before it was like black and white, like, oh, this exercise is my saving grace. But in reality, it's like the body learns to heal, but then also it's again another piece that you have to put together to get not perfection, but a little bit better, a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
symmetrical. And for me, like it's an issue of my TFL. And before I was like so anti adding bands to like the hip thrust or my good mornings because, you know, gurus on Instagram was like, oh, you're a piece of shit if you put a band around your fucking legs. And like, honestly, like I felt bad for doing that. So I stopped. And then I had all these fucking TFL issues on my left side. I added a band not around the knees, but more around like my tibia and also my feet. So I can cue myself to like have that like external
Mm-hmm.
rotation of the femur. Guess who doesn't have fucking TFL problems anymore? Guess who doesn't have as bad of a hip imbalance? Hi, hello, me. So it's like, I get I might look stupid, and there's some people there might be like, oh, you're dumb for doing this. That can't
You're
be something that I harbor anymore. It needs to be like, you can think that I'm dumb, but I feel better doing it and I feel stronger and I don't have pain. So it works for me. And that's something that I feel really bad about because I definitely got on the no band hype because I wanted to be included in the pack and I wanted to sound smart rather than being open-minded. And so I want to apologize for that for
there's
that are
different,
listening.
you have to remind yourself too, though, you're not using a band as a resistance training mechanism. You're using it as
Yeah,
a
A
like
guide.
keeping tension so you're not concaving in and still have weight on top of that. That's different.
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're not
Yep.
doing little
Because if you're
lateral
doing
band
just
walks and
bands, I'm gonna
shit.
yell at you.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not using just bands. I'm
I'm
using
kidding.
bands during my heavy compound lift so that way I can cue properly and
Mm-hmm.
actually train my fucking glutes and not my hip joint.
Listen, you can wear bands and I'm gonna do air squats and we're gonna be jacked.
That's right. Bands make her dance, and they also make her ass fat.
God. But that is a big thing, like how impactful social media can be on our individual choices and how we kind of portray ourselves too, because there are so many trends that I think are going to actually die down here
Oh yeah.
soon within bodybuilding. Um, what are the ones that you see the most that you guys think of right at the top of your head?
Ozempic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
would
using it
say,
correctly.
yeah, Ozempic and maybe like not all peptides, but certain.
I was thinking that too.
Like the ones that I'm researching and like learning about, like again, TB and BPC are solid. I'm also looking into, I think it's pronounced thymosin alpha 1. Does that sound familiar?
Hmm.
Yeah, like that's something that I'm learning a little bit, especially about the immune system because of my mom, but then also myself because my immune system
Hmm.
is a little bit lower. And likely that's due to prolonged stress on my body due to the nature of how I live my life. But I'm also really curious about like the gut microbiome and the fact that I wasn't like, this is just totally off tangent, so sorry there, but because I wasn't a vaginal delivery, I was a C-section. Like I
Hmm.
didn't have those good microbiome
Oh.
during birth, and I was the sickest kid growing up. Like all the ear infections, all the throat infections. I still have my tonsils by the grace of God. Like I was just constantly fucking sick. Like that bubble gum, Pepto-Bismol, like it was my ride or die growing up. And
Put
like
that in the fridge.
That's nasty.
it's so nasty, right? But it wasn't until I started to eat better and like really do more research on the gut microbiome and again, not treat my body like a dumpster that I stopped getting sick, right? So I was
Hmm.
like, so I'm kind of interested in the thymosin alpha 1, but there are a lot of other things where it's like, it sounds fucking cool in theory, but at the same time, it's like we're just studying mouses and rats. And I'm like, yes, there's some genetic similarities, but at the same time, like I would feel really, really shitty if like I wasn't super confident and like using like a peptide with a client, even if they were willing, and then they just like do not respond well. And then it's like that's on my conscience and that makes me feel bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm
Hmm.
curious about these things, but I don't want to be the researcher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like a big one is like the SLU. Like
Yeah.
I used it religiously and I know a lot of people are like hating on it right now. Like I know John Jewett and No Switch Fitness, like they constantly are kind of not hating on it per se, just saying that the research, the data is very lackluster right now. And of course it is. A lot of peptides are. But I will say, like firsthand, I was leaner when I was using SLU. And now I'm not using it and I'm off gear too.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if I add it back in when I'm off cycle, if I do see improvements in my body comp. So I might actually try that with myself because I do think it works because I've seen it through my clients too that it works. Like anecdotally, it does.
May I ask a
But like
question as to what the dosage that you utilize and how you utilize it?
I I have to bump it up. So like most people will not respond to just 100 to 200
Okay.
micrograms. Like I have to do like 300 and then 200. I like to split it up because it tastes disgusting.
You do it before
But I do
cardio?
300 fasted prior to cardio and then 200 pre-training, yeah. And I
So
noticed huge changes. So,
So I am using it as well because actually
mhm,
I had asked her about it and whatever because I knew I didn't want to use Clen going into
yeah.
this because of my like dizzy spells and all that's going on. Honestly, I tried Yohimbine too and I was getting like a similar feeling from Yohimbine.
Yeah.
So I'm using 1 ml, so 100
Hmm.
milligrams pre-cardio, and I would say I think the like effectiveness of working out without actually working out that they're saying about this is bullshit.
Yeah, yes.
But I think that just for me alone, when you're dead in prep, my heart rate's still getting up to like 160, 170 when I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's not something I would be able to do when I feel like I do right now. So I think at least for that,
Yeah.
it's beneficial. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't think I could push it as high as Meg does because I definitely get that same like
Oh, yeah.
kick from it. but I'm
Hmm.
also I'm the opposite. I'm hypersensitive to literally
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But this has worked for me to not give me the lingering later in the day, can't sleep at night, feel all
Hmm.
jacked up that I get from Clen.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obviously going to be person dependent 100%
Yeah.
always. But that goes for fucking everything. Primo, Anavar, anything.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't agree with the whole like, oh, it's the exercise in a bottle kind of thing. Like, sure, it's an exercise mimetic, but it's not going to replace
Exercise.
anything. Yeah. So I get it. I think a lot of like influencers and people with codes, myself included, I haven't pushed it like that, but like
Yeah.
I just share like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, if you want to try it, here's my code. If you want more info on it, like reach out. Like,
So the only thing that's hard with all of these type of peptides, and honestly, even HRT is really
mhm.
the like long term effects because they
Right.
Yeah,
haven't been around long enough for people to know.
exactly. And you have to realize like with these things, like I would never take it for a long duration. Most peptides, even like BPC, I'm pretty sure it's like, after 6 months, you should, come off of it.
Mhm.
I
Like
don't even know if
there's,
it's that long. I
I
feel
mean, for a BPC, I don't think 6 months is that bad, especially if it's for an
the
injury.
TB maybe that's shorter than.
I'm not sure. But I'm just saying, like, you need to cycle off these things. It's not like a long thing, like a multivitamin. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of like hate on certain things. Like it's like you're in one camp or the other, like the research based or the bro science.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't be a little bit of both. You have to be one camp or the other. And that's how it is now with social media. And that sucks. I hope that trend kind of dies out.
Yeah, that's a good point of view because it's like I am interested in peptides, but I also like again, there's that morality thing where okay, maybe it's really effective short term, that'd be great, but again, it's like that long-term effect because we don't have those clinical trials where I'm
Hmm.
like let's say for example, like I programmed SL for a client
Hmm.
and like again we get phenomenal results and we're like hell yeah, but then like later there's research where it's like oh this is known to cause this and then it's like well fuck then I have to kind of like own that. So it's like that for me is just where I'm a little bit of timid to like experiment. And I know I have
Hmm.
clients that are like willing to be guinea pigs and like I am very thankful for that on one hand, but also it's like where am I going to kind of like compromise when it's just kind of like I feel like I'm like this and then shooting an arrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just a little bit of morality that I'm kind of, I guess, timid about.
Yeah, I
I'm
get
open
that.
with people. And I think that that's just all you can do is like, this is what's the data, do some research on it on your own. This is what I know. Long-term effects are unsure. Enter at your
Hmm.
own risk. I mean, people are going to do stuff regardless, sometimes even worse. So,
I mean, shit, man. Have you heard the freaking like any type of infomercial for any type of thing on the market right now? You could fucking shit out your ass, blood. Like, oh, side effects may include going blind. It's like it's like all this shit, or like, but people don't care about that. But if it's like a supplement or something that's not, FDA approved, which I get,
Yeah.
they're just like, oh no, fuck that. But they'll go ahead and, take whatever their doctor prescribes. So I'm big on like the education component and being honest about, okay, sure, there's not a lot of data here. It's a new peptide.
Yeah.
But if you do want to try it, here is like I give them the information about it. Like I'm not going to gatekeep it and just say, take this and you'll
Right.
burn fat. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Josh was giving me a lot of pushback about using it because of just the unknown in my
mhm.
body and how I usually
Yeah.
have shit reactions to literally everything. Uh,
Yeah,
but sometimes you got to make decisions for yourself.
True.
yeah.
Good conversation. I
What's
appreciate that.
what's another thing that you guys want to see die off or die down?
Not so much die off, but just a lot more awareness around like PEDs with women. and
Mm.
not being such a taboo thing that people are actually educated on and are doing all the things with lab work and testing what they're using and realizing that most women don't need a lot of drugs to get a lot of results either. You know, it's
Hmm.
Yeah.
crazy to me. I listened in on the Callum Pro Coach or whatever,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then they did a free women's PED education class, and like some of the statistics they were giving, and honestly, I don't know where they're getting these numbers are for dosing and things like that, but like was like I guess I'm in my own little sheltered world because when I hear of women that are in like women's physique and whatever using 400 plus milligrams a week of androgens, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And
That's crazy.
how do you, and I understand that like there's definitely that mentality of like whatever it takes, and like I'll put myself into that category to an extent, but
Yeah.
you also have to be realistic of this is a short period of your life, and granted forever you can always train, you can always eat well and whatever, but what you're putting into your body and the repercussions it has on your body are forever. And I
Hmm.
can't imagine being like, yeah, sign me up for that for even an Olympia placing, because those
Yeah.
side effects are not going to be reversible.
No, yeah, and that's a big thing. Like I I have PDs that I will never touch, Trend being one of them as a female, but like EQ and things like that, like I won't touch it. Like I don't see a need to touch anything like that. And I think a lot of people, especially women, this isn't a knock at us and our demeanor and everything, but like we are more impressionable than males, especially when we have a male coach telling us this is what you need to take in order to take it to the next level. You're like,
Right.
yep. Okay. Aye, aye, sir. Like, yep, I will. But we have to be advocates for our own fucking health. Do your own research. Ask other female athletes who you trust,
Yeah.
and who maybe don't look like a virilized transgender. I don't know. But like, you have to speak up for yourself. Like, you are just as much like included in the decision making process as your coach. And I think a lot of girls, women, sorry, don't believe that. They're just like, nope, give me the plan, I'll follow it. It's
Yeah.
like, no, actually speak up for yourself. Like, this is serious. Like, this is your health, this is your longevity, this is your family's health down the line if that's where you would
Anytime,
go.
anytime someone is, and I'm not even talking about our athletes because I think the three of us do a really good job with having
Mm-hmm.
discussed. But anytime you're working with a coach, or even if you're deciding to do something on your own, you should be thoroughly researching the
Mm-hmm.
origin, what they're used for, side effects, long term, all those type of things. Because the short result that you're going to get from the duration of using this drug, it can come with a lifelong side effects. And I think that people really underplay that.
Right.
Yeah.
And also like not being so quick to just want to like hop on the gear train because you think that's like the missing secret. 'Cause it's like that's something that I regret. And like I understand if you've decided that you want to be enhanced, like I understand the thrill of enhancements. I do. I'm an enhanced athlete. I understand that it is fun to get stronger and progress a little bit quicker than if you were natural. But at the same time, you also have to understand the risks that come with it. Like even if you are using it in a safe as possible manner, it is just as
Mm-hmm.
important to come off of things and take your time versus being so quick to add something else in, right? Especially if you come from a background where, maybe you've had like GI issues in the past, or maybe you're older, or, maybe you come from a background where, you've had surgeries, and again, your recoverability is taxed from an immune standpoint. Like I understand that it might be boring. I get that. But at the same time, it has a point and a purpose. And as bodybuilders, if you've chosen to use enhancements, again, it's just enhancing the foundations. And so if you want to do bodybuilding, at least in my point of view, it's really important to love the training. It's really
Mm-hmm.
important to love taking care of yourself when it comes to staying on your meals and, protecting your heart and protecting your organs, like doing things in a way that like is boring to maybe the common person because we're not just using drugs in every single phase, but like just settling down and like Laura's a big advocate on is like maintaining and finding your body's like happy space and homeostasis. Like that is such a great experience in its own way. And that's something that I definitely regret in my early years when I was super impressionable and, just wanted to use drug, and, thinking that that was like the thing. And in reality, it just caused me a lot of issues and a lot of pain in the future because I was just so impatient.
Mhm.
I'm
But
Yeah.
actually glad I've always kind of been that person that was afraid to do things, whether it's like PEDs or recreational drugs or things like that,
yeah,
because I feel like I'm just at the point where I'm well educated enough to actually make good decisions. And before I was just so afraid of anything
yeah.
that I didn't fuck myself up to probably what I would have being the like daredevil I was as a kid. So that's probably good.
I'm trying to think of another trend.
You know what I hate seeing on Instagram is the whole, because we're on the PED topic, is fucking the douchebags who go around like the shows or like the expos and ask if they're natty or not. Like when they fucking know that they're not natty.
Yeah.
And like I don't
Why
like when people
care?
lie, but like why do we care anymore? Like
I think
what?
it's like it's in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things where it's an insecurity to where I could look like you if I did illegal stuff too. So it's like personal validation. And it's probably along the lines of like, oh, you're cheating because you're using drugs, even though we compete in a federation that does not legally test, right? So I think it's something where, again, it's one, it's clickbait because that's easy for people
Yeah.
to like watch and digest. And two,
Hmm.
it's like there is again, it's a dichotomy, it's camps. It's either the people that like use gear responsibly and like, will talk to educate because it's not a plaything, it's a drug, a hormone, versus the people that are just so into gear where like that's their entire personality versus the people
Yeah.
that are like anti-gear and then judge the rest of us. And so it's like again,
Hmm.
it's camping and it's to cause friction and diversity and conflict so people feel validated. And again, it's the whole idea of like stepping on others to raise yourself up and it's like I'm with you, it's unnecessary.
It's so stupid.
I
And
think
it's annoying because it's usually guys who are asking female athletes like if they're natty or not. And I'm like, bro, you're literally using, like, you're not natty. Why does it even fucking matter?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate that so much. But it's also, like you said, it's clickbait. And this whole, I feel like bodybuilding as a whole, it feels like you just have to do it for the engagement now. Like that's why people get into it. It's like, oh, because my social media will go up. It's like, ah, I wish that would die down.
Yeah, dude, I'll get literally emails from people being like, "Do you know that you're shadow banned?" I'm like, I don't care. I
What
don't
does it
care.
even mean?
It means that Instagram sees your content and is like, "Oh, we don't want to promote this." So they'll
Oh,
like kind of put a block on your account so other people don't like pop up in your feed or your stories.
oh, okay.
So it's a way to suppress your engagement and suppress your message. And it's like, that's fine. Like that sucks for me because I feel like I put out pretty good shit, but like I want to be honest and authentic. And if that's going to be punished, then so be it. Right. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna still keep doing me. As far as like other trends, like the response videos to like other people's opinions and ideas and just completely shitting on them, especially when it comes to like things that just get so like lost in the weeds. Like again, like I'm thinking like the exercise bands when it comes to like
Mm,
using them for cueing that foot pressure and people like just shitting on other people's ideas and research. The whole like negativity is what I guess I want to die. Like I'm just so
hmm.
exhausted by the unnecessary like dichotomy and negativity that like there's a reason why I don't go on Reddit anymore. There's a reason why like Instagram, like I'm unfollowing people that have such strong opinions, but in order for their opinions to be heard, they scream and they're negative. And I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to absorb that. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
I don't want it to be like come across as oh I'm weak or whatever. It's just like it's like watching the news. The news is not news anymore. It's just fear mongering. And Instagram is
Yeah.
into that. So I'm just like, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna do to the best of my ability. I'm gonna continue to learn. I'm gonna continue to do what I need to do as a professional, as an athlete, as a wife, and I'm gonna keep doing what I think is right. And I'm trying to surround myself with people that are very, I guess, middle ground and level-headed, just so
Hmm.
that way it lifts me up. It doesn't like send me into a deep depression since I am in prep and my
Hmm.
emotions are way heightened. So that's like,
Yeah.
I feel like such a Miss America answer, but it's this truth.
No, I think it's true. I mean, I'm very open-minded. Like, I think it's a big red flag if somebody stands on their opinion for years and years and years and it never changes, because there's so many changing things with like research and just new knowledge and new things that are coming to light, you know? And I think if your coaching strategy, um, or whatever, exercise physiology, whatever the fuck, is the same as it was 3 to 4 years ago, you're missing the link.
Yeah.
Like you are, I don't know, I just don't get it. Like, because there's some things in coaching I did 3 years ago that I will never do again. Like, and that's how it should be, because you should be leveling up with your services, with your knowledge, with your expertise, but you shouldn't be leveling up and then shitting on people who still do what you used to do, you know?
Yeah.
You should be educating and being like, hey, I used to do that, but here is a better like way to go about it. But yeah, I agree with you there.
I think the biggest with all of that is just realizing how different everybody is and needing to
Mm-hmm.
be able to
Right.
pivot per person.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like that's
never
So
not
black and white.
celebrated.
when I
Yeah.
see these coaches that are like, oh, 150 people deep on their roster, I'm just like, what level of service are you giving?
Not a
Right?
good
I
one.
don't know how. Like Cameron actually, because last uh I think it was Monday's check-in. I mentioned that like, yeah, I'm gonna be starting a mentorship in May, and I'm getting more inquiries. I'm trying to level up my coaching. Like that was my little bit of stress that I had mentioned in my check-in. He was like, hey, like I just want to say, like, this is why I don't like coaching coaches, because they try, like, as you get leaner in prep, obviously more inquiries are going to come in, more people are going to want to sign up, and then you
Yeah.
go past your capacity and you overwhelm yourself, and then that's going to kind of be detrimental to your prep. And
Right.
I literally said to Will today, I texted him, I was like, I'm good, I'm comfortable. Like, sure, do I want to make more money? Yeah. Do I want more solid athletes on my roster? 100%. But right now I'm really just focused on ensuring that I am listening and coaching the people who are showing up every day and committed to the process, like my 100%. If I kept taking on more and more people during my prep, overwhelming myself, then I'm not going to give myself enough effort or my other people, So I don't know how people do 100 plus, to be honest.
It's just how they define success differently. So like how
Yeah,
just like
100%.
they define success is not in client numbers or in revenue, most likely. It is how the client feels under our
Yeah.
care, not only during the duration of our time together, but
Hmm.
also months and years after, right? I think that's how the three of us define success. And so,
Yeah.
while yes, it's like we want to make sure that we can provide for our families, absolutely. Like at the end of the day, like we do this to genuinely help people for the love of the sport, for the love
Hmm.
of bettering other people, bettering ourselves, again, Miss America bettering the world, but like
Hmm.
legit, like this is why we do what we do. And if we would do it for free, we would. But again, that's in like a utopia that doesn't exist. And so it's
Yeah.
we do charge for our services, we do invest in our education, we do likely keep a lower roster cap, and that's how we define success. But we also have to remember that when there's a dry spell going on right now, drop offs happen. Like, guys, like real talk, people are like cutting down on buying things like toilet paper. Like, people are hurting so bad, they don't feel like they have the ability to clean themselves. Like, when I heard that and I read that, like, I almost started tearing up because it's one of those things where it's like this is such a basic human necessity to like clean yourself thoroughly, and people are
Yeah.
just like, I can't afford to. And so it's like no shit, then luxury services like coaching and stuff like that and preps are going to suffer. But it is something where people are so hurting, and because people are hurting, it is important to again make sure that the people that do trust you with their preps and their health and their coaching, you remain consistent, you remain strong, you remain a good leader in a good position, so that way they feel taken care of in a world where unknown and uncertainty and chaos is kind of like running amok.
Mm-hmm. It
Because
is
you
crazy.
hit the nail on the head. Not even, I think for all clients in general are looking to feel taken care of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that should be the delivered service from the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Any final thoughts before we get into fun questions?
Mm, no, not really.
Laura, anything from you?
I had a question.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
If you, uh, how do I want to put, what's something that, in compared to your current prep to the last one you did, that you feel you are continuing to do good with? And what's one thing that you totally fucked up last time and feel like you're doing better now?
Mm.
For me, it's really hard to answer if I'm being totally transparent because I never sat the fuck down and gave myself peace in my first prep to the point where like I literally don't remember it much. Like I
Hmm.
remember being very anxious, feeling very lost and feeling
Was,
tired, but
was 2020 your last?
2019 was my first and only competitive
Oh,
season.
okay.
So like I was just the best description I can give is like a tornado. It's like I was just constantly just a whirlwind of mess because I was overworking myself both professionally. I wasn't taking care of my mental health. I wasn't, I was kind of like in a different phase of my prolonged, struggle with eating disorders and exercise addiction to where it's like I couldn't really tell you other than the whole thing just makes me sad to think about because I wasn't being good to myself, let alone the idea of wanting to bring my best because I just couldn't, right? I was being so bad to myself that how could I bring my best? So now it's
Hmm.
like embracing the negative emotions and negative things that I feel now so that way I can also feel and enjoy the positive ones. And it's like giving myself the ability to pause and to put my feet up and to rest and to feel hungry, to feel tired, to feel like my legs feel like cinder blocks because I don't remember that in my first prep. And it's like those struggles make you stronger. And it's like, I want this prep to be my best and my strongest. And so it's like slowing down to be present enough to enjoy everything that it has to offer and teach me because this is how I'm choosing to live my life. So that's like my answer. It's not that I am doing things differently because the whole experience is different. I can't even compare it because like it's almost nothing to compare to. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it's a totally new
Yeah.
thing for sure. I get that. Um, it was one good thing and one bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely for me, I mean, I was totally in a different phase of my life. I was getting my doctorate, trying to go into my pro debut. So like that was fucking crazy. Um, so I mean, there's that. I'm not doing that. But also this time, kind of similar to what you just said, Ash, like I'm allowing myself to feel things. Like I haven't really gotten into the hunger part, but I know I'm not going to be grabbing a fucking cucumber and putting yellow mustard on it. Like I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna live up. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm hungry, cool. Go on a walk, go sit your ass down. Like you're fine. You don't need to shove a cucumber in your face. Like, so I think
Not unless
that's
it's for fun.
definitely not that type of cucumber, but like, yeah. But the truly calorie-free cucumber, I guess. Well, I guess not. It wouldn't be calorie
Dude, real
free at the
talk.
end. But
Dude, that's another thing. I'll watch these like bodybuilders being bodybuilders, and these guys are like educating the public, right? And they'll be picking up like a jar of pickles, being like, you see, this is a great prep hack because these pickles have 0 calories. You could eat the whole jar and it'd be 0 calories. I'm like,
dude,
I was like,
can I
what the fuck?
freaking rant real quick and then I'll get on
Oh,
to my good thing?
rant.
This Alani Nu I tracked it. And if you're in prep, you should fucking track it. You should track that. You should track your gum because three carbs. This is three fucking carbs. I don't care if it's sugar or alcohols. Like I know everybody goes back and forth about that, but if it goes in your
Yeah.
mouth, you track that shit. And I guess that's a good thing that I'm doing this time. Because last time I would be chewing sugar-free gum, drinking these energy drinks, and being like, "Da, da, 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 da." Like, oh, it's not affecting me. It's fine. But like at the end of the day, I'm probably consuming like 10 to 15 extra carbs just from trying to curb my hunger. So like you're trying to find like a way out, but you're actually doing yourself a disservice. So I guess that's what I'm doing good. Yeah, but the
Like, I
bad
feel
thing,
called
huh?
out. I feel called out about if it goes in your mouth, you track it. Like literally, I was on that
I
boat
mean,
my first prep, and this is actually a core memory I do remember that's fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna put myself on blast. Whenever I swallowed Eric's load, I would
hmm,
track it.
I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit.
Well,
I
I
ain't
guess
doing
you're a
that.
bitch then. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
don't
But like,
care.
because
I
I
ain't
thought
doing
it
that.
had calories. So I was like,
Nah.
oh, you swallow, you track. And on my fitness pal, it said 69 calories, and I did not get the joke. I did not
But
get the joke. And so I was like,
wow,
I guess it
Ash,
is. Like, legit, that's how fucking retarded I was.
that's
What am I saying?
terrible.
Right?
But no, like seriously though, like drink flavoring mix, energy drink, sugar-free gum, Tic Tacs, whatever it is, those little calories, they add up. So
It is.
that's just gonna be my PSA today. Like, track your shit. Like actually track it because people will be like, oh, it's not working, I'm not dropping weight. And then if I like find out like, oh, you're literally sweetening all of your water with Mio or Crystal Light or whatever, let's pull that, get back to me in 3 days, and their weight goes
Yeah.
down. It's like, come on, guys, like pull your head out of your ass.
The only thing
But
that's free is ice. Ice and like
yeah,
unflavored water.
yeah. But yeah, I guess I don't know if that even answers your question, Laura. But I
Yes.
kind of went all over the place there. But let's hear it from you since you just had your last prep earlier than us.
2 years ago, it's still a decent time.
Ours were five
Uh,
and a half.
yeah, that's true. Okay. Um, I guess the good one would be like not abusing the fact that I'm in prep to just annihilate myself to be as tiny as possible. Like,
Mm,
Yeah.
so before, I will be totally honest, I even the last prep I did, not once did I do a refeed ever.
Mhm.
It was just the whole way.
mm,
And then this last week, so Sunday was the first day I was supposed to do a refeed. I was planning on doing one day. Refeed, weight drops. Refeed, next day, weight drops again. I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing fucking three because my just kept dropping, and I would have done that before.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I knew that that was my body being like,
you need it.
ma'am,
Yep.
Mm,
we're needing a little step off the gas.
Yep.
And, I've been dropping 2 pounds a week since I started dieting. So I guess so.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good
Can
point.
I touch on that real quick? Because that's actually something bad I did in my previous prep
Mm.
was I would do more cardio or pull food intentionally for Jason to
Megan.
give me a refeed. Legit. Like I was pushing harder than I should have in order to get a refeed. And I see it all the time. Like I've actually heard like people say that they do that too. It's like, oh, I walked a little extra like this whole week so I could get a refeed. Like the whole intention of a refeed, like you shouldn't be pushing for a refeed in prep.
Yeah.
Like your body should just be telling you, okay, it's time to refeed. But like that's not the goal of prep is to refeed. So I want to call myself out on that one. Like, don't do that shit. That's stupid.
Follow the plan. Follow the
Follow
plan.
the
Your
plan.
coach knows how to fucking guide you. If not,
Yeah.
like we're just
Why do you have a coach?
why do you have a coach and then your coach is like making the wrong decision because they don't have the data that they need.
Exactly.
Data is
So
skewed and false, absolutely. With that track what's in your mouth, only ice is free. What is your favorite ice? Like the shape? Like we got like the normal
Oh,
fridge cubes, we got like the crushed, we have like the reverse osmosis where it's like It looks like a funnel. We have like
Hmm.
look like goose turds. What's your favorite ice?
I'm thinking goose turds are the ones that I'm thinking of. Have you ever been to the Coffee Bean?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what that is. Is
So
that
it's a West Coast coffee shop,
Mm.
but they have like it's like little tiny ice balls
yeah,
for the entire like iced coffee. So good.
dude,
And
Yeah.
for
the
whatever
six
reason, it just makes the
years.
coffee better.
I think
Yeah.
it has to do with the surface area. Like hate to be nerdy about it, but literally I think the ice that's more cylindrical, which is why I really like the goose turds, it doesn't like probably melt as quickly because it's more compact.
Hmm.
So therefore like it enhances the flavor by not watering it down. I could be
Hmm.
totally fucking wrong. I'm sure Eric's gonna be like, actually it's this. So I'm sure Eric is mansplaining right now. Thank you, sweetheart. The
He
true
usually,
answer.
oh no, I was gonna say he usually gives us feedback in the group
Dude,
In
chat.
I
the
don't know
group.
where the fuck he's at, to be honest with you. So I don't know if he's like out in the storm and he's been like texting me that he's like outside. I don't fucking know, but it's been quiet in here.
Dude, I honestly I don't like ice. I'm not a fan of ice.
You're like,
It hurts my teeth
Oh,
because
that's
I shave
right.
that shit. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I can't eat cold things. Can't breathe when it's cold outside. Like that
mm,
hurts. Ooh, that hurts bad.
I love
That's
that.
on me. That's me being stupid when I was 12. But
I like that. All right, what are we grateful
dude,
for? Because I know Laura's gotta head out.
yeah.
oh, I'm grateful for my health when I have it. Fuck.
Mm,
Seems so short-lived, but when it comes and goes.
mm. I'm thankful for the ability to have an open mind and be able to change my opinions. Because like I know that sounds like super like fruity, but again, like we were talking about, like I am not the same person in terms of athlete and coach that I was 5 years ago. So I'm thankful for the ability to grow and to reflect on what I thought was law and to be able to change that. Right.
Hmm.
Because it's like I did a lot of things wrong, mostly because of how I thought about a situation, because I was so like hard-headed that I realized there was no room to grow. And it's like, that's a sad existence. So the ability to be like, you know what? You should probably relearn how to learn. So that way you can
Hmm.
be better and grow. And like just that kind of mentality has brought a lot of peace into my life. Because when you have that mentality, in my opinion, you're less reactionary. And so therefore you're wanting to argue less and be angry. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
like that is something that I've worked on immensely, to just like be a little bit more chill, be a little bit happier, be a little less
Hmm.
like
I guess I'm grateful that Cameron is starting to push me in prep. Like I'm ready to feel like I'm in prep because I've been in prep for 12 weeks. So it's
mm,
like, can we fucking get the show on the road? But I knew there was a purpose behind it. But
mm,
that was just me being a little impatient and also comparing myself to others, which I've also pulled back on, which I'm happy I did, because that's
mm,
what got me all fucked up in my last prep, is that I was
mm.
constantly comparing. So don't want to do that again going into the Tampa Pro. Like I want this to be like a no expectations prep. Like I just want to fucking enjoy it, but I also want to grind. Like I want to fucking graft. Like so, I'm excited. I'm happy that he pulled my food. So
I love
yeah.
that. Cool.
If you
Wait,
see
I'm
me
a
like
kid.
skinny next week, you know why.
Yeah. Okay, that's the first word I would describe Megan fucking Santa Barbara is skinny.
Skinny.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. Ladies, I love you. I appreciate you. It was good chatting with you. You, Laura, I hope you
Bye.
feel better. Meg, I hope you stay
Yes, feel
safe.
better.
Thank you.
Yes.
See you,
Bye.
ladies. Bye.